Well, for more on the U.S. involvement in both the Palestinian issue and the debate here over judicial reforms, let's go to Ron Campius, Washington Bureau Chief of the JTA, the Jewish Telegraphic Agency, and he, of course, is in Washington. Ron, we're getting conflicting reports. Some reports that the U.S. has reached a deal with the Palestinians on that resolution to delay that resolution. Israeli sources denying they've made any kind of concessions. But certainly the Biden administration doesn't want to find itself in this spot right now, caught between Israel and the Palestinians at the Security Council.
No, it really doesn't. Its focus is very much on Ukraine, where there are reports that there's evidence that the Russians are going to intensify their onslaught against Ukraine. They're trying to wrangle NATO countries into manufacturing more weapons for Ukraine to resist the onslaught, at the same time while resisting getting further involved, getting NATO further involved in the conflict. And there's also this whole business with China, which is where tensions have increased over the shooting down of a balloon at a time when the Biden administration and apparently even elements of the Xi government in China had been hoping to tamp down tensions. So there's a lot going on. They do not need an Israeli-Palestinian blowup.
Right, and yet we do hear, and we have heard Ambassador Tom Nides speaking out, saying that the U.S. has urged the Netanyahu government to so-called put a brakes on the judicial reform process, an issue that many in Israel, or certainly those people proposing reform, see as an internal Israeli debate and really not the business of the United States.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. There's that conflict right there, that tension between a country trying to determine its constitutional makeup and an outsider coming in. From the Biden administration's perspective, though, part of the whole resistance to Russia's invasion of Ukraine in Europe has to do with the credibility of allowing people to make their democratic decisions, which is something that Ukraine has been trying to do, obviously, since the collapse of the Soviet Union in the early 1990s, and then more intensively with 2014 and the Russian invasion of certain territories, and then the full-fledged invasion almost exactly a year ago. And so, the Biden administration is in Europe telling NATO, not even in explicit, but in subtle ways, be less like Poland and Hungary, be more like Western democracies, be more open. This is the kind of example we have to set. And here its most intimate, probably its most intimate, but certainly among its most intimate relationships with Israel. And from Biden's perspective, you see Israel, at least the government, going more in a Hungary, Polish, even Russian direction rather than in the Western direction. That's not what they need right now. That's a big headache for them.